Hello guys, welcome back to a new tutorial brought to you by Sports Templates, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to use this hockey kit template. It's such high quality. Let me zoom in and I'll be able to show you just how high quality it is. And so yeah, this template is really easy to use, very hassle free, and I'm going to be showing you guys exactly how to use it today. And yeah, so of course, this is what you get when you first launch the template, and everything in this template is fully customizable. And hold on, let me show you. Let me just open up the example again. So everything is completely customizable, from the text, from the logos to the numbers, everything, even even every single detail in the skate is very customizable for you guys to look at. So let's get started. So we're going to start from the top down. So we're going to start with the helmet, and so just going to zoom in a little bit on the helmets, and we're going to open up the helmets folder. So just like this, we can actually change the visor as well. So we're going to go to the visor, and just to show you, we're not actually going to use this, but just to show you, you can actually change all of these details. So including the tint color, all you need to do is go to the tint color layer, double click on the thumbnail, and there you can see we can change the color of the visor, and it's really that simple and easy to use. So we're going to hide the visor just because we're not actually going to be changing anything there. And we're going to go to the helmet, and we're going to change the helmet body. So that what the helmet body is the overall color of the helmet, and we're going to make it an offset black. You want to try and avoid using full blacks like this and full whites like this, just because it doesn't show the full color. It doesn't show the shadows to its full potential, and just like this would be fine. So using an offset color would be perfect. So what now we're going to do is we need to change the design of the actual helmet. So we're going to start with the front. So that would be this mannequin right here. We're going to double click on the thumbnail to open up the smart object, just like this. Now we're going to change the color of the number. So to do that, we are just going to highlight the text, and we're going to change it to an offset white. We're going to use the hex code E. It's just 6 E's in a row, and now we can actually change the team name right here. So we're going to type in Flyers, just because that, of course, that is the name of our team, and we're also going to change the color to match the number, just like that. So press OK, and now we need to import our logo. So I'm just going to open up my logo folder, and then import the logo right there. Okay, now we just need to use these logos are already there as our guidelines. So we're just going to press on the tick, make sure that the layer is above the others, and press Command T to change the size, hold Shift when resizing the logo, and then you can place it exactly where you want it to be, just using the original logo as a guideline. And as you can see, it does cut off on the side, but that is because in the actual template you can't see the full logo. So we're going to make sure that it is a little bit cut off, just like that. We're going to press Command J to duplicate this layer, drag it over to the other side using Shift. By using Shift, and make sure that it goes in a line and not all over the place. We want to make sure it's in line. And if you looked at this placeholder logo, you can actually see that it's been inverted or mirrored. So we're going to do the same thing with our logo. So we're going to press Command T, right click, and then flip it horizontally. Now we can just match it up the same way that we did for the other side. Press tick, and now we can just hide those placeholder logos just so you can't see them behind. And now we're going to press Command S to save it. We can close this document, and you can actually see that it changed the details on the helmet just like that. It's literally that easy, and we're going to be doing that throughout the whole template. Now we're going to move on to this mannequin. So this mannequin is called the 3/4, and we're going to go to the 3/4 helmet design, and we're going to double click on it, and now you can see that we're presented with different options. So we're going to go to our number. We're going to make sure it's the 6 E's hex code that we want, the offset white, and we're also going to change the team name to Flyers. If the name is considerably longer than the original text that was there, you may need to move it over a little bit. So just click, drag it over, and that should be fine. We also need to make sure that the text matches the number just by doing that. We can also use this manufacturer space to put a logo in there, but the Flyers kit doesn't actually use a manufacturer logo, so we're just going to hide this layer like that. And now we're just going to click, drag in our logo, and then make sure it's lined up just like we did before the other parts of the helmet. And we're also going to angle it a little bit, just because you can see that this logo has already been angled, and we need to make sure that it matches just to make it perfect. Now we can hide the placeholder logo and press Command S, close this document, and then you can see that the logo has changed. Okay, so now we're on to the final helmet layer. So we're going to go to the back helmet design layer, double click on the thumbnail, and now we're presented with this. So we're going to change the team name to Flyers, just like before, change the color to the 6Es, press OK, and we're also going to do the same for custom helmet. Change the hex code again to make it match, and now we just need to drag in our logos. So click, drag in the logo, resize it, and then I think we're also going to angle it for this one as well, just like this. Okay, all matches up. We're going to press Command J to duplicate our logo layer, drag it to the other side, and then we're just going to angle it the other way, just like that, just to make it match exactly. And now we can just hide the original placeholder logos, just like that. Okay, so now we can press Command S, close that document, and there we go. You can see that we have now completely edited the design to the helmet. Now we need to change the red of the padding inside. So we're going to go to inner center padding, double click on the thumbnail there, and we're going to change it to the orange that we're going to use for our kit. So I have it already set up here. This is the color I'm using for the Flyers kit, and we're going to use this color throughout the tutorial. Okay, so now we have completely finished our helmet. We are now going to move down to the collar. So we're going to hide these helmet layer just like this, and now we're going to go to the extra collars folder, and now you can see we have two options for the collar. So if we were to hide the lace and show the v-neck, you now see that we have a v-neck there, and so we're going to stick with the laces just because that's what we want. If we were to change the color of the top part of this collar, we would just open up this laces collar folder, and then we would go to the collar top. So if we double click on this thumbnail, we can change the color, and you can see that it would change. But of course for the Flyers kit, it needs to remain white, so we're just going to keep it that way. Okay, so for now we need to change this part of the collar, so this front part. So we're going to go to the collar layer right there, and we're going to change it to the orange that we used, the same orange that we used on the padding for the inside of the helmet. And now all we need to do is change the interior of the collar. So there's two layers that will help us do this. There's the logo layer, which would be with the white part that you see on the inside, and then the interior, which is this top ribbon part at the top there. So firstly, we're going to change that, and we're going to change it to the orange. Now you can see that the top part has changed. Now we also need to change the logo area to the same orange. So we're going to click on our orange, and there you go, we have changed it. But you can also see that we have some writing in there, and that allows us to actually place little logos or text in that little area there. So we're going to go to this front logo layer right here, double click on it, and now you can see that we have this option to put our own text in, or we can hide that layer and put in our own logo. So I'm going to put in the NHL logo, make it a bit smaller. Okay, and now we can hide the vector logo that's there as a placeholder. Press Command S, close this document, and there you can see that our logo is in there now. Okay, so now we've edited the helmet and the collar. So now we need to move on to the shoulders. So we're going to hide these collar layers or the folders, move on to the shirt, then the shoulders, and we're going to start with the back. So we're going to double click on the thumbnail for the layer that says back shoulder design. And now we have this. So we're going to, first off, what we're going to do is change the color. So we're going to go to the change color layer right here, double click on it, and go to the orange. I don't know, this needs to be black, sorry. For the Flyers kit, this needs to be black, or an offset black. Like I mentioned earlier, we want to get the full potential from our colors and the shadows. So now we need to change the number. So our number is going to be 28, as this is going to be for Giroux. And we also need to change the font. The font I'm going to be using is NHL Chicago. Just change this, and we also need to do the same here. Change it to NHL Chicago, and then change the numbers to 28. And now we also have another space here for the manufacturer logo. But like I say, the Flyers kit doesn't actually have the manufacturer's logo on their kit. So we're going to hide this layer just like that. Press Command S, and then if we were to hide this document, we can see that the color has now changed, and everything is very easy and hassle-free. So now we're going to move on to the sleeves. So we're going to hide the shoulders layer because it is all as the shoulder. When you edit the shoulders layer, it updates on all 3 mannequins, and it makes things very easy for you. So we're going to go to the sleeves, and now each arm has its own layer. So you can see that there's a left layer right here and a right layer. So and that's repeated. So we're going to go to one of the right layers. It doesn't really matter which. And now we have the option to add our own pattern. So you can see that there's a pattern here as a preset. We can hide that if we wanted just by clicking on the by hiding the shape 1 layer. And we're actually going to change the color of the sleeve to the orange. So we're going to double click on the thumbnail of this layer, move over to the orange that we have already as our secondary color, and now we can just press OK, and then we can actually add these horizontal lines, which is what we're going to be using for the flyers kit. But we also need to make sure that we change the number. So we're going to change the number to 28, and now we need to change the color to make sure that it matches the lines. So just press OK, press on the tick, and now we can press Command S to save. And there we go, we can see that it has changed one of the sleeves. Now we just need to change the other sleeve. And so we've done the right, now we need to go over to the left. So again, we're going to hide the pattern layer because we're not going to be needing that. We're going to go to our rectangle 1, and we're going to double click on it to change the color and make sure that it's the orange that we want. We're going to show our horizontal lines that are right there. And we're going to change the number to 28, just like before. And we're also going to change the color to match the lines. Press OK, press on the tick. Now we can press Command S, close the document, and now you can see that it has changed both arms on all 3 of the mannequins. It's that easy. Now we just need to go and change the actual shirt. So to do that, we're going to go to the shirt folder within the shirt folder. So we haven't closed this yet. We're just going to go to the shirt folder right there. We're going to go to front design, double click on it to open it, and now we need to change the color. So we're going to go to change color right here, double click on it to open this panel, and we're just going to click on our secondary color just to copy it across. Now again, we have all these different options for lines. So we have the side line just like this, and we have the horizontal lines, and of course we have the stripe lines like we had when we started. So we're going to have the horizontal lines just like this. But on the flyers kit, the lines actually change color. So the top line is black the way it is, and then the bottom line is a white. So we're going to make a, we need to make sure that this bottom line is white. So we're going to go to our shape tool right here, and we're going to make a new rectangle. Just make sure it covers over the original stripe that's there. And now you can see that we made a new shape. And now we can just change the fill by going to the fill at the top and making sure that it's an offset white, just like that. Press OK, and now you can see that we've changed it, but of course it's a different size. So we just need to make sure that our rectangle shape layer, that we just made is above our horizontal lines. We're going to right click and then go to create clipping mask, and there we go. You can see that we have changed the color of the bottom line. Now we need to import our logo, so we're just going to click, drag it in. Let's just find it. There we go. Now we just need to make it the right size. Okay, that's perfect. We need to make sure that it matches the guidelines that are already set there by our placeholder logo. Now we're going to hide the manufacturer text just by clicking on the layer where it has manufacturer, and then we're also going to hide the placeholder logo. So now that we've done that, we can just press Command S, and it will save across all of the mannequins. And there we go. We have now completed the front of the jersey design, the shoulders, and the sleeves. So now we just need to do the back. So we're going to double click on the back layer, just like that. And now we just need to make it match. So we're going to have the sidelines instead of these other options. Actually, no, sorry, we're not going to do that. We're actually not going to use any of these options for the back, just because they don't use them on the flyers kit. So we're going to change this number to 28. Just like that. And we also need to make this a black. So we're going to change it just like this. Okay, that's good. And now we also need to change the name to Giroux. And to make sure that it's in line or the center of the document, just press Command A and then click the inline or the align to center icon at the top. And there you go, you can see that it changes to the center. Now we just need to change the text color. So we're going to highlight it all, go to color, and then change it to the same color as the number. And now we just need to change the color of the back, the whole color. So we're just going to go to the change color layer, double click on it, and change it to the orange that we have right there. Press Command S to save it, and now we can close these documents, and there you can see that we have completely changed the from the helmet all the way down to the shirt. And now we're going to go to the gloves. So we can just hide these folders just like this, open up the gloves folder, and then the first thing we're going to do is go to the wrist. The wrist layer right here, this will change where it has the warrior text. So we can just change it to the black to match the rest of the glove, or we're going to change it to an offset black, just like that. Okay, that's perfect. And now we want to change this red part at the top. So we're going to go to top part layer, change it to the same offset black. Okay, that's good, all matches up. And now we want to change the inside of the palm. So you can see it's red currently, and we want to change it to an offset white. So we're going to go to the palms layer, double click on it, and go to an offset white, and there we go. You can see that it changes it, and you can it just shows how easy it is to make things look better, and how easy it is to make it look the way you want it. That's basically what I'm trying to convey to you guys, right? By using this, by changing the gloves. And now we just need to change the text that goes along the glove. So we're going to go to the left wrist. So we're going to do the left wrist first, obviously. And we're going to import a logo. We're going to use the Bauer logo. So let's just click, import it. Just like this. Make sure it's the right size. And of course, some of it will need to be cut off just because it goes around the wrist. It goes around the wrist, so not all of it is visible. So you can see that some of it will be cut off. And we also need to make sure that we hide the original warrior's text, just so it isn't present in the actual design. And now we need to change the color of our new logo, otherwise you wouldn't be able to see it on the black gloves. So we're going to double click on the layer to open up the layer style, go to color overlay, and we're going to make it the orange that we want. So just double click, we'll just click on the secondary color to copy it, press OK, press Command S, and now we can see that it is actually copied across for the left wrist, and everything looks good because it goes across all of the mannequins and everything links up perfectly. Now we just need to do the right wrist. So we're going to double click on the right wrist layer, and we're going to do exactly the same thing. Drag in our logo, make it match up. There we go. And now we just change the size. Perfect. Hide the original warrior's text, and then change the color of the logo. Press OK, press save, and now we can hide it. And there we go. You can see that the gloves now look perfect and exactly the way that we want them to. Okay, so now that we've done that, we just need to do the shorts, the socks, and the skates. So we're going to hide this gloves layer. We're going to go to skate. We're going to go to shorts first. So let's go to shorts, and then we're going to go to the shorts full color. So we're going to double click on that, and we can change the color. Actually, no, that's not how you do it. My apologies. We need to edit each leg individually. So we're going to go to the right leg first, double click on the front right, and then we have the option to either have these 3 stripes along the side or the 1 stripe along the side as well. So we're going to double click on the 1 stripe, and we're going to change it to the orange that we want. There we go. And now we can actually add our own logo. As you can see, there's a guideline point there, so we can just drag in our logo, and then we can just make it match exactly to that logo. There we go. You may need to make it a bit bigger, otherwise it will be too small to see the details. If you have a more detailed logo, so we can hide that original logo there now. Press Command S, and then we'll see that it is changed on one of the legs, just like that. Okay, so now we need to edit the other leg. So we're going to go to the front left layer now, double click on it, and now we're going to do the exact same as before. Change it to the side side line. Go to double click on the thumbnail to open up this panel. Go to orange, just like that. And now we just need to import our logo again. Click, drag it in, and make sure that it's in line. Actually, no, for this one, we're going to add the Bauer logo. My fault, my apologies. So let's just click, drag this part in. Make sure it's the right size. Just like before. There we go. Again, you may need to make it a bit bigger depending on the shape of your logo. And Now we can hide the original placeholder logo there. Double click on our barrel logo, go to color overlay, change it to a white. So let's just do that real quick. There we go. Press Command S. We can hide these documents, and there we go. You can see that it is now changed on the actual kit. Now we just need to do the back of the shorts. So we're going to go to back left. Make sure that it is the sideline instead of the stripes. Change it to the orange, and then that is all we're going to do for the back. So we're just going to do the same thing to the other leg now. Hide the stripes, show the one stripe, and then copy it to the orange. There we go. Press save. And there we go, perfect. We have now completely edited the shorts the way we want them. And now we just need to do the socks and the skates, which are actually probably the easiest parts. So we're going to go to the socks, open up the socks layer, and now we're going to go to the front right. And we have quite a few options with the socks. We have the option to go half and half like this, or we can hide this rectangle or this top layer and just do one solid color. And then we also have the option to have these horizontal lines. So we're going to use one solid color with the horizontal lines, and we're going to change the color of the socks to orange. So we need to go to our rectangle 1 layer, change it to an orange. There we go. Press OK. Press Command S because we want these stripes to be the same color that they currently are. Press on the X at the top. And there you go. You can see that they change across all 3 mannequins, and it just shows how simple and easy this template is. Now we can hide the socks layer just like that, and now we're going to finally go onto the skates. So we're going to open up our skates folder. Now we're going to edit this top padding part right here. So we're going to go to skates back top, double click on the thumbnail, and we're going to change it to the orange. There we go, and now we can see that that has changed. Now we're going to go to skates back, and this will edit this little this top layer right here. Let me just change the color so it's easier for you guys to notice. You can see this white part at the top. We're going to change that color to the orange just to match. And now the final part we're going to change on the skates is the skates side. So we're going to double click on that, and again we're going to change it to the orange, and there we go. So we can see that we've completely changed the skates to match the kit. And of course you have all these other parts that you can fill around with. You can even change the little metal parts where the laces go into by changing the metal parts layer. It just shows how customizable this template can be. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you enjoyed using this template as well, and I hope that you've reached its full potential. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys later.